Welcome, welcome. My name is Emily Schickli, and I am honored that you've chosen to journey with me in this movement practice. We're going to combine together from a variety of different disciplines to help you drop into your body and get out of your head so you can step away from the stressors, from the to-dos, from the responsibilities of the day, and finally feel good, restored, rested, and energized. So if you're ready for all of that goodness and have some fun on your mat, go ahead and get ready. Take a deep breath in, exhale out. Let's get started.
We'll start getting some grounding, especially towards the end of the year. Things can get a little bit more hectic and chaotic, even as our own natural energy starts to wind down. So go ahead and wrap your arms around your shins if that's available to you, pulling your knees closer into your chest. Take a big breath in. Exhale out your mouth, let it go. You can open your arms out wide and maybe flop your knees towards your right. So starting with a pose that I like to end with most of the time can help us just get into our spine a little bit more, into our breath. So see if you can bring your focus to your breath as you inhale, push the belly out in front of you. As you exhale, start to wring out your belly like a washcloth. You can seal your lips here, making your yogic breath. Big inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhale, float your knees back to center. Exhale, flop them over to the other side. Maybe you might want to rotate your head towards the opposite direction. So gazing over your right shoulder, knees towards your left. Take a big breath into your belly, expanding it like a balloon. Exhale, squeeze your belly. Inhale, big breath in. See if you can articulate your whole spine here as you breathe. And exhale, contract. Really nice. So one more. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, bring your knees back to center. Let's start to get some movement in here. So I like to separate my knees, holding onto them with my palms, and then exhale, rotating them forwards and then back down. So you're making little circles with your knees. Maybe you have a little dog licking your toes as they pass by. And then when you're ready, switch directions, rotating your knees together, then away. And inhale, come back to center. You can opt to have a really active transition here, starting to rock and roll on your mat if that feels good to you, or you can just simply roll over to one side, coming up onto your hands and knees, tabletop. So stack your shoulders right on top of your wrists here, hips right on top of knees. Take a big breath into your belly, dipping your belly down for cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, articulating your back. Squeeze your belly in, cat. Inhale, dip your belly down, find cow. Exhale, mound. Good. Inhale, go ahead and rotate lengthwise on your mat. So now you're facing the short side of your mat rather than the long side. Exhale, extend your right leg out beside you. So we're moving into one of my favorite side stretches. So placing your right leg long, see if you can get it in line with your knee, your left knee that's down. Then bring your left hand in line with your left knee. So you're making almost like a side plank, supported side plank pose, but we're aiming for just this nice juicy stretch in the hip. Now, if you can't reach your arm all the way overhead, you can keep it grounded down in front of you, but make sure your hips are rotating open. So big breath in, exhale out. You can round down through your spine, coming back to your hands and your knees. Switch sides. Right hand goes next to your right knee. Left leg out long. Maybe reach your left arm all the way up for the full version, or you can just rotate down, releasing here. Big breath into your belly. Exhale out your mouth. Big breath into your belly. Exhale, let it go. Coming back to your tabletop, go ahead and rotate all the way back around, facing the front of your mat. Tuck your toes underneath your heels, press your hips up to the sky. So we're finding downward facing dog here. You might feel a little tightness. You can bend your knees to release tension in your low back and your hamstrings if that feels good to you. Take a big breath in. Exhale out your mouth. Another big breath into your belly. Exhale, option to lower down to your knees if you want more of a supported version today, finding child's pose. We'll stay here in downward dog for 2. 1, bend your knees, look towards your hands, step to meet your hands, finding a forward fold. You can relax into your forward fold here by bending your knees more deeply so that you're not overstretching the backs of your legs unless you're really open at the start. Take a big breath in, maybe wrap your wrists inside your elbows. You can shake your head no, nod your head yes. Inhale, release, hands to your shin bones, flat back. Press your hips behind you. So instead of leaning forward in your forward fold, see if you can press the weight into the heels of your feet. Exhale, flop it out, let it go. Inhale, bend your knees, place your weight into your heels as you roll, stacking your spine, shoulder blades down your back. You can stay here, bring your hands to your heart. If you want, you can reach your arms up all the way to the sky for a full sun salutation. Inhale into your heart. Exhale out your mouth. If you either have your hands at your heart, that's great, or your hands up at the sky, we're just going to rotate, sliding your arms open. So you can rotate right from heart center and extend your arms. Maybe they're slightly below 90 degrees, whatever range of mobility you have today. Just getting into your upper back for a twist. Squeeze your belly to support your spine here. Little rotation, keeping your hips towards the front. Exhale, swing your arms back to front. Switch sides. Left, rotating over your left shoulder, twisting in your torso. Big breath in. Exhale, come back to center. Switch sides one more time. Maybe like you're drawing a bow and arrow. Can feel really good. You can also rotate your wrist back. So bringing your palm back behind you, getting into your forearm over here. Exhale, switch. Last time, opening up your left arm, maybe getting that wrist stretch as well. Big breath into your belly. Exhale out your mouth. Release, come back to center, forward fold again. Inhale, place your hands into your mat. Option to step back to plank pose or straight to tabletop. It's up to you and what you want today. If you go into plank pose, it's a little bit more intense for your core. You want to squeeze your belly here, zip up your inner thighs, activate your glutes. Breathe deeply, or you can have your knees down on your mat. Just make sure your hips are in front of your knees here, so you have some engagement in the belly. Big breath in. Shrug your shoulder blades down your back. Slowly lower to your belly. Unhook your toes. When you're ready, tuck your chin into your chest. So oftentimes when we go into cobra pose, we tend to just lift our chin up, and that can really strain our necks. You actually want to have a nice long spine here. So gaze down towards the floor or all the way up towards your chest as you lift. Squeezing your glutes to support your entire posterior chain, engaging your belly as you peel off your mat. If you want a little bit more, you can float your hands, take a big breath in. Exhale out, melt back down. When you're ready, tuck your toes. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog or child's pose for a little bit of a rest. We're gonna repeat that exact flow a little bit faster this time. So take a big breath in, exhale out. Inhale, bend your knees, look towards your hands. Exhale, step to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, press your hips further back. Inhale here, exhale, flop it out. You can tuck your wrists into your elbows again, or if you want, maybe walk your hands underneath your feet for gorilla pose. Inhale into your belly, exhale out your mouth. Releasing your hands in whatever bind you have. Bend your knees, slowly stack your spine, rising all the way up to standing, shoulders shrugged down your back. Arms can reach up or they can rest at your heart center. Inhale, reach your right arm behind you, opening up for that twist. Maybe you extend your left arm in the opposite direction. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, twist, open the left arm behind you. Maybe open your right arm in the opposite direction. Inhale, center. One more time, each side. Exhale, right. Extend left. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Extend right. Inhale, back to center. Option to reach your arms up to the sky if you like. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins. Exhale, place your hands into your mat. Step back for your plank pose, or you can go into your tabletop variation. We're gonna hold here for a few counts. If you want, you can do a little bit of a saw, adding some more intensity for your core here. Just make sure you don't jut out past your wrists as you saw back and forth. So forward an inch, back an inch, forward an inch, back an inch. Last 3, 2, 1. Option to lower your knees before you bend your elbows all the way to the floor. Release your toes, pull your shoulder blades back behind you, tucking your chin again, looking down at the floor. Big breath into your belly. Option to float your hands if that was something that you wanted to try. Exhale, let it go. Place your hands back into your mat, tuck your toes, hike your hips up, downward facing dog. Let's take a breath here. Big breath into your belly. Exhale, stick out your tongue, lion's breath. Let's do 2 more of those. Really great for releasing stress. So big breath into your belly. Exhale, stick out your tongue with force. Nice, 1 more of those, big breaths. Inhale, exhale, lion's breath. Nice, bend your knees, look towards your hands. You can hop or step to bring your feet to your hands. We're gonna add on some variations here for our last round. So inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Flat back, press your hips behind you, getting into your hamstrings here. Exhale, release your hands to your mat. Step your left foot back. So we're finding a low lunge here. Press your left hand into your mat. We're gonna rotate open for a twisted low lunge. Now, if you can't reach your arm up all the way, you can place your hand on your tailbone, but you'll still get that nice shoulder external rotation. And even if you can reach your hand all the way up, you might want to try this variation. It's very supportive. Take a big breath in. Maybe look down at your mat. Make sure your hips haven't done a little shimmy shake. You're nice and grounded here. Exhale, release your hand to your mat. From here, press into both feet. Rise on up to crescent lunge. Maybe reach your arms up all the way to the sky or keep them at your heart. Exhale, release your hands behind you, finding a little back bend. So interlace your fingers, show your shoulder blades away. Lift your heart up to the sky. Maybe gaze up towards the clouds that are above your ceiling. You can imagine them there. Exhale, really up. Release your hands back to your mat. Step back for your plank pose and downward facing dog. If you want, you can go through your vinyasa to add some more core work. Take a big breath into your belly here. Exhale, let it go. When you're ready, bend your knees, step forward or hop to meet your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, pressing your hips back behind you for that hamstring stretch and activation. Exhale, flop it out, let it go. Let's actually flop it out one more time. So inhale, halfway lift. And as you flop it out, really allow yourself to become jello. So letting all of that structure in your body flop and release. One more big breath in. Exhale, flop it out. Inhale, place your hands back into your mat. This time, step your right leg back. And if that's the wrong side, I just totally spaced. Do the right one for your body that you haven't done already. I think that might be right. All right. Sink into your hips a little bit here. Maybe get a little bit of a hip flexor stretch. Take a big breath in. Exhale, place your right hand into your mat. Open up for that low lunge twist. Again, you can place your hand on top of your tailbone for a slightly more supported version. So you can breathe into your belly and then exhale to twist deeper. If this feels like too much for you, you can also lower your knee to your mat for more support. Big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Release your hand back to your mat when you're ready. Again, you can keep that knee down for your crescent pose if you prefer, or you can straighten your leg, rising up, full version. Hands at your heart or into the sky. Take a big breath in. Exhale, interlace behind you. Shrug your shoulder blades down, lift your heart. Little heart opener. Big breath in, press into your heel, your left heel, big breath. Exhale, release. Inhale, plant your hands. Step back for plank pose. Let's move through one more vinyasa. So shift forward, option to lower your knees. You can also skip this altogether and go to child's pose if that feels better for you. Exhale, melt to your mat. Release your feet. Take a big breath in. Tuck your chin, lift up. Exhale, flop it out, let it go. Now just take a moment here on your belly. And check the time. Stopped wearing a watch. Cool, we're good. So take a minute on your belly. Extend your right arm out by your side. Palm into your mat or outside of your mat lines on the floor. Take an exhale here. Press your left hand into your mat on the other side. Flopping open over your right shoulder. So you can make this as intense or as gentle as you like. You can maybe rotate your left hip on top of your right. You can stamp that right foot or left foot behind you for a full twist. Or you can relax your hand closer towards your hip for just a little bit of a twist. Take another big breath in. Exhale out. When you're ready, flop back to your mat, switching sides. Left arm out beside you, right hand in towards your belly. Rotate open on your right hip. Again, you can relax your head into your mat, maybe stomp your right foot behind you. Take a big breath in. Exhale out. Yoga is one of those practices where life happens around us. So whether it's the teacher's dog is barking like crazy and you're trying to relax, or your body isn't behaving in a way that maybe you want it to, just take a moment to honor the fact that yoga is the practice of moving through your body, connecting your mind and your body as one with your breath. That happens in the very real world, not a vacuum. And that can also be the true yoga, being able to find quiet and stillness amidst the chaos, amidst the mess. So go ahead and come back to your belly. Exhale, bring your knees out wide, finding child's pose, pressing your tailbone down, arms out in front of you.
Big breath into the back of your rib cage now. Exhale out your mouth. Inhale into the back of your body. Almost imagining like you have wings that you can expand out with every inhale. Exhale, tucking them back in. Inhale, come up to your hands and knees. We'll thread the needle here. So this is kind of like what we did on our bellies, but a slightly different variation. Tuck your left arm underneath your right armpit. So you're staying up on your knees. You can add on a little bit of a balance if you want by bringing your right hand to your tailbone and maybe even extending your right leg out behind you. And if you really want to go for it, maybe floating your right toes off the mat. So now your weight is just, and you might fall too. Now your weight is just in your left shoulder as you balance. So it's kind of a fun play practice here. Or if you're feeling this stretch and you're like, no, I want to ground into it, it feels so good, just lean into that. And release, come back to center. Let's kind of wiggle it out here. So gaze over your right shoulder, then your left. Inhale back to center, switching sides. So right arm comes underneath your left. You can ground into your twist by pressing into your left hand, squeezing your belly. Or if you want to go for that balance, maybe start with your left hand on top of your tailbone. And if that feels okay, rooting down through your head and your shoulder, extend your left leg behind you. And then maybe, depending on your balance today, float your left leg up. You might actually find that one side you can balance on better than the other. I know I'm a little bit better on this side today. Just notice. And exhale, release all of the twisting. Finding tabletop once more. Let's move to our backs. So we'll actually close class on our backs, just like how we started. So flop onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. I'm gonna play some music for you all. Maybe you want to go into figure 4 on your back. Your hips are feeling tight, so you can cross your right ankle over your left thigh, pulling it in towards you. And then when you're ready, you can switch sides. Maybe bring your right ankle on top of, or your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Hi, rascal. And then when you're ready, open out to Shavasana, your final resting pose. Arms out long by your sides, legs out long. Take a big breath into your belly. Just honor the fact that you showed up today, you moved in your body. You allowed yourself to breathe through the chaos. Maybe even find a little bit more union with your mind, body, and spirit. I invite you in our final pose to maybe bring to mind an intention that you have, maybe for the rest of the season, the month, the year, or just the day. Inviting yourself to get playful with whatever intention that might be. Maybe it's just to breathe more. Maybe it's to allow yourself to rest, take things a little bit slower.
And take a big breath into your belly, into your chest, and hold. Exhale out your mouth. Take another big breath into your belly and your heart and hold. Exhale out your mouth. And now bring your hands to your heart, staying on your back. Be just pancaking them on top of each other. And just notice if you can feel your heartbeat. You can feel your breath moving through your body up and down. And just take a moment to thank your body. And again, solidify this intention that's come to mind. And trust that you will be guided by your own infinite intelligence and intuition to bring this to fruition, whatever it is. When we get grounded and more present with our bodies, we're able to hear those little pings, those little intuitive hits and downloads that can direct us in different directions that maybe we might not have intellectually thought of, but take us in towards greater alignment. So take one last breath here, solidifying this space, this energy in your body to receive those intuitive hits. And exhale, let it go. When you're ready, make your way to a seat. Bringing yourself back to the present moment. Namaste.